Hello students, welcome to Veranda IAS. From the current affairs topics in the science and technology, in this session we are going to learn about ISRO's Earth Observation Satellite EOS-03. The learning objective of this particular session will be to discuss the Earth Observation Satellite of Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO. Then we will examine the ISRO's Earth Observation Satellite in news. Further, we will discuss EOS-03 of ISRO and list the applications of EOS-03. Further, we will explain the mission setback. So there was a setback in this mission, so that also we will be discussing in this session. So let's begin first by introducing ourselves to EOS, which is simply Earth Observation Satellites. Okay, so the satellites equipped with remote sensing technologies. Which are the remote sensing technologies? If you remember, then they are radar that uses radio waves, and then there is LIDAR, that is light detection and ranging. So these are the two technologies which are used generally in the remote sensing, are known as the Earth Observation Satellites. So that is EOS. It is mainly used to collect the data of Earth's physical, chemical and biological processes. Okay, so whatever the process, like it's observing, it's like a camera from the space which is actually observing what is happening in that particular region from which it is passing through. So, and obviously what type of changes will happen on the Earth? The physical changes will happen, the chemical changes will happen. So like for example, there is a lot of dust. It can also be visible, like we had a pollution in Delhi, that was visible even from the sky. Okay, so the chemical and the biological processes. Further, on sun synchronous orbit, many Earth observation satellites have been used. Right, we have studied that in traditional part, what is sun synchronous and all those. Now, other Earth observation satellites launched by ISRO include ResourceSat-2A. See again, India is self-sufficient and India has the largest constellation of the remote sensing satellites in the world. So these are just the names. So just giving you the names which have been launched earlier. So we have ResourceSat-2A, two versions of it. Cartosat-1, 2, 2A, 2B, ReSat-1 and 2. Then Oceanosat-2, Megatropicus, which is a collaboration between India and the French agencies. Then we have SARAL, and then we have SCATSat-1, INSAT 3DR, 3D, etc. So that means there are many satellites, Earth observation satellites that have been launched by India. So there are applications are also there, and we have the need also. Now further, now ISRO's Earth observation satellite in news. In August 2021, ISRO suffered the loss of an important EOS-03 during launch when the GSLV rocket carrying it malfunctioned about 5 minutes from the liftoff. So setbacks do happen in the space sciences and all those things. So we were taking that satellite into the space, one of the Earth observation satellite named as an EOS-03 version. So after once it was launched, generally the cryogenic engine did not start up, the third stage which was there, and obviously because of that the mission failed. But then still we are studying it, because even in failures there are certain significant points that are there to learn. Now further, what is EOS-03 of ISRO? It is every day it could image the entire nation for 4 to 5 times. See the significance. This Earth observation satellite 03 had the potential to image the entire nation, entire India 4 to 5 times a day. So that means everything of what was happening on the Earth's surface could be observed. It could be physical, it could be like physical movement, like for example, we have the Naxalites in India, so their movement even it can be traced. Further, then the chemical changes, biological processes, whatever they are happening, it could be traced on that. It was launched on GSLV rocket, GSLV F-10, which has redesigned payload carrier that reduces aerodynamic drag, allowing it to carry greater payload. So obviously these Earth observation satellites and all those things, they are heavy satellites, and because of their functions and all those things, it was actually modified to carry heavier load, but then it failed. The rocket was meant to place the satellite in geostationary orbit, or we can even say geostationary transfer orbit, from which its onboard propulsion system would see to a geostationary orbit 36,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. So to take to that distance, you obviously need the advanced launch vehicle. So here they use the geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle. So it was about to launch in the height of 36,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Now what were the applications of Earth observation satellite 03? The EOS-03, which is a part of new series of Earth observation satellites, was designed to offer near real-time photos of wide areas of the country. So simple, it was to provide what real-time photos of the country. That means whatever things are happening at the real times on our nation can be seen from that satellite, and that satellite will take the images and it will send back. The photos might be used to track floods, cyclones, as well as water bodies, agriculture, vegetation, and forest cover. So every day you can track, like as we have seen earlier, these satellites will be capable of scanning the earth or scanning the nation 3, 4 to 5 times. Okay, so even if there are flash, nowadays we are witnessing the flash floods, or we can even if the water has been discharged from one dam, now water is taking some different course, so that can also be tracked, and that can help in mitigation, disaster management, and all those things. So it was having a very wide range of applications, but then, as I am saying, it has failed. So the mission setback. The satellite launch is kicked off by liquid fuel strap-on boosters, which provide the additional energy required to propel the rocket off the ground. So first stage, when the rocket is taking off, liquid propulsion was used. That worked. Second stage, then comes a solid fuel first stage, followed by liquid fuel second stage. Both of these stages performed as well. So solid state of the first stage, which is for the lift off, then liquid fuel second stage, they also were performed well. But the third stage, which is the very important one, and where we require the cryogenic engines, they failed. So the rocket's critical third stage, which employs an indigenously manufactured cryogenic upper stage, failed to ignite, and that resulted into the collapse or the setback for that particular mission of Earth observation satellites to be placed in the geostationary orbit at 36,000 kilometers. So to summarize what we learned the Earth observation satellite of Indian Space Research Organization. Then we studied ISRO's Earth observation satellites in news. Further, EOS-03 of ISRO. EOS is nothing but Earth observation satellite. And further, we studied the application of EOS-03. And then finally, in spite of studying the applications and learning about that satellite, what we had a mission setback, and why it was because of the failure of indigenously manufactured cryogenic engine. So that was the mission setback. So with that, I hope you have understood whatever we have discussed in this particular session. That's it for this session. See you in another one. Thank you.